Mr. Chairman, fellow governors and distinguished delegates, it is an honor for me and my delegation to participate in the 2014 annual meetings of the Board of Governors of the World Bank Group and the International Monetary Fund. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the government and the people of the United States for their warm hospitality and for the sound arrangements made for these meetings. We reaffirm our commitment to the twin goals of the World Bank Group to end extreme poverty within a generation and ensure that prosperity is rooted in greater equity. These are lofty goals but achievable. Taking cue from recent history, we recognize that a process of rapid catch-up requires a strong developmental state that signals a credible commitment to economic progress. This is through process and policies that enhance savings and investment, promote market-based institutions on the back of sound regulations, and embrace an outward orientation that brings in relevant ideas and capital from abroad, while leveraging foreign markets to augment scale and productivity at home. It is against this backdrop that we are encouraged by revived prospects for global economic growth. Despite hints of looming conflict and uncertainty in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, developing countries in the Asia and the Pacific region are expected to grow by at least 6% in 2014 and 2015. The World Bank remains a prominent partner in development. Its global reach and the ability to marshal finance and knowledge in tandem remain its core strengths. From tackling climate change to building regional infrastructure, we welcome the bank's renewed emphasis on global public goods that present a crippling coordination challenge and elude country-specific solutions. Mr. Chairman, we in Nepal appreciate the long-standing relationship with the World Bank. It has helped us grow, reduce poverty, connect our hinterlands, and introduce new ideas. As we exit a prolonged period of conflict and transition, we feel business as usual will no longer carry the day. We need to implement a fresh series of economic reforms that will expedite change. We invite the bank to engage in this endeavor with a reinvigorated country program that is aligned and coordinated with national priorities and systems. There is no doubt that such an approach will embolden development efforts that are country-driven and nationally owned. For a country at its level of income, Nepal has made outstanding progress in achieving the Millennium Development Goals. However, our current growth rate is insufficient to achieve a permanent end in absolute poverty and to confine it to single digits within a generation. To accelerate development, we feel an acute need for a proactive state that creates conditions for new institutions which can propel us on a higher trajectory of between 7 and 10% growth every year. The present government is striving to conclude the peace process by helping draft by early next year a new constitution that shall institutionalize the gains of a young republic. Similarly, the new constitution seeks to aggregate diverse interests. We also need to chart a consensual road map on the economic front. We are confident that our existing strengths in agriculture, tourism, and water resources can help us move towards a zero carbon economy by mid-century. Mr. Chairman, Nepal's vulnerability to damage from climate change is large despite its negligible contribution to global carbon emission. Glaciers and snowfields in the Himalayas are melting fast, leading to disasters related to both flood and decline in dry season river water availability. Global climate change is also creating shift in monsoon patterns in ways that will threaten Nepal's agriculture. Changing temperature and moisture patterns and receding snowline is harming our mountain biodiversity. In recognition to these grave threats, we urge the world community present here for urgent actions to stay below the globally agreed 2-degree centigrade limit while easing our transition to carbon-free, carbon-neutral economy. In our quest for a clean source of modern energy, we welcome the bank's growing interest in developing Nepal's hydropower and thank President Jim Kim for prioritizing this cause. Together with the hard work and ingenuity of Nepali people, hydropower is perhaps our biggest source of future prosperity. In this regard, the recently concluded Power Development Agreement PDA for Upper Karnali hydropower and the Power Trading Agreement PTA with the Government of India augur well for new investments in productive sectors. Indeed, we are greatly encouraged by prospects for renewed growth and stability in the Indian subcontinent. With the imminent conclusion of the peace process, improvements in the business climate, our vigorous pursuit of new series of economic reforms, we expect a rebound in sectors that will create decent jobs. We hope that all these factors will converge to help us graduate from the status of a least developed country by the year 2002. Mr. Chairman, we support ongoing internal reforms at the World Bank to become more client-friendly. We commend the bank's continued efforts to implement the gender equality agenda, and we reinforce our common responsibility to end human deprivation in all its forms. In this regard, we believe the post-2015 development agenda ought to hone its efforts on completing the fiercely urgent yet unfinished task of ending extreme poverty. Recognizing that fighting entrenched poverty requires adequate resources, we welcome the success of the replenishment of IDA 17. We are confident that these funds will be guided by lessons learned from past IDAs. While the debt stress of Nepal is reduced, an increase in credit worthiness on our part should not be punished by a curtailment of grants. Such a policy may create perverse incentives and introduce moral hazard in aid systems. We believe that this has to be a clearer distinction between the needs of countries at peace and those in post-conflict transition. In closing, on behalf of the Government of Nepal and on my own, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the World Bank Group and the International Monetary Fund for continued support in Nepal's efforts to modernize. We look forward to deepening these bonds and wish the annual meetings a great success. Thank you very much for your kind attention.